Alright, so Bugsnax. So first off, we start off on the ship, right? It looks like it's about to land, but suspense, tension has to build, so it's dark, it's raining, then all of a sudden this grayed out flying beast just comes up out of nowhere, just completely murk your ship. And now you're just stranded. So now that you're stranded, you make your way through a tutorial where you see moving bushes, grayed out creatures, and a bridge that completely falls apart as soon as you step foot on it. And at this point now, I am so scared, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I am shaking in my tidy whities right now. I cannot even lie. Then you go on this ladder, then you see just a random flying pizza there. Then the ladder breaks and you fall on a rock. Now it's a flashback. Flashback shows that we're journalists working for a news corporation, and this Grumpus, the people there are called Grumpus, named Lisbert Megafig, found a place called Snacktooth Island and invited us to write a story about its main and mysterious attraction, Bugsnax. And not even 5 minutes into the story, the game just wanted to show PDA when Eggabell, another Grumpus, just goes up to the screen and just gives Lisbert just a big old smooch. And I don't appreciate that. You know why? Because I'm lonely, okay? I don't need to see that. I don't want to see that, okay? It just makes me realize that I go to bed by myself, all right? No one loves me. So I guess yay them or whatever. Anyways, after the video plays, we have our boss, Clumby Clumbernut, yelling at us about how this story is a bad idea and that how many chances we've had at our jobs. But guess what? She just gives us a chance anyway and says that if we make it out alive, we might, just might, keep our job. So anyways, we go on this island and we're just here now. Present day now, we come to and we get introduced to a walking strawberry. Continuing on, we see a Grumpus sprawled on the ground, looking defeated, just more than likely awaiting the invitation of a very slow death. Oh, no, he's fine. And he goes by the name Filbo. Say that 5 times fast. I bet you'll say something else. At first, Filbo thought I was Lisbert in his dead and haze, but as soon as he realizes that I'm not Lisbert, he sends me to capture some Bugsnax, which I could only agree to his request because I can't smack him across the head. That's not an option. I wish it was, but it's not. And at this part of the game, we learn how to identify Bugsnax. We are given our first gadget to capture Bugsnax, and we use said gadget to capture our friend, the walking strawberry. I then proceed to feed this Grumpus the walking strawberry, aka a Shrabby, and then this happens. Wait, what?
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
I'm saved.
Yeah, his arm turned into strawberries. So with me in shock, and Filbo's arm is a goddamn strawberry, we set out to get more Shabbies for him. So after we feed Filbo his Bugsnax, he introduces himself as Filbo Fiddle Pie. Dude, I swear with these names, man. So it turns out Filbo is a mayor of a town in Snacktooth Island called Snacksburg. So after I save this man's life, we head back to Snacksburg, and on the way of going over there, we meet Wambus. And Wambus is not particularly happy to see Filbo, so he yeets some ketchup at Filbo, and Filbo gets murked by a burger. So now that there's a burger on the loose, Wambus wants me to help him get the burger back in its pen, which I do make quick work of, and I get a slingshot in the process, so I guess that's pretty cool. Now that the burger, aka Bunger, is dealt with, we check on Filbo, who is just laid out. It's just snitching on Wambus. But seeing Filbo in that state and him coming to his senses, Wambus agrees to go to town with us. But not on an empty stomach though, so he sends me to get him some Bugsnax. And if you want to know my thoughts on this game by now, here you go. You gonna turn to French fry, bro. Dude, your body, oh my god. I don't like any of this. Get me out of here. So we're gonna go full American, right? Feed this man a French fry spider. Then we're gonna go to Mediterranean, feed this man some shish kebab insects. Then we're gonna go right back to American and feed this man a bunger. You can ask me what I'm doing in my life right now. I can't give you an answer for that. Anyways, we feed Wambus his Bugsnax and we carry on to town. To not even 5 minutes later, we meet another Grumpus named Beffica, who also doesn't like Filbo, is into gossip, and is way too friendly with me.
I love your snack scope. You and me are toads twinsies.
No. So after that encounter, we finally make it to town, which just looks completely depressing. But we get into one of the main mechanics of the game, which is interviewing. So we start off with Filbo, and we just send this man into a complete spiral loop of despair. And then after the interview is done, Filbo has this great idea.
You can catch Bugsnax and bring everybody back to Snacksburg.
So basically, he wants me to do his job for him, which I do without hesitation. So to first set off on this grand journey that we have to bring back all the old townspeople, we cross paths with this unusual Grumpus who won't reveal their name, but will give us a device that could turn any limb into a Bugsnax, which yeah, makes perfect sense. But anyways, after that, we find Gramble, but not just only Gramble, we find this lovely little lady singing her heart out to Gramble, but Gramble does not care in the slightest. After that whole ordeal, we attempt to get Gramble back to Saxburg, but he won't bite until, get this, we give him back his pet Bugsnax for him. This man doesn't eat the Bugsnax, he just keeps them as pets. I don't know what he eats, but anyways, he shows me his pet Shrabby named Sprout that can be led via laser and lets me keep him for my adventures, which is pretty epic, I'm not even gonna lie. So Gramble sends me to bring back his Pillbugs, aka Orange Roly-Polies, which I do. And this man is gonna get offended on how I bring back his Bugsnax. He doesn't want me to trap them. Oh no, I'm scaring them. So I have to cover Sprout in chocolate and have his walking kiwis follow the chocolate covered walking strawberry back to him. I'm already taking the time out of my day to do this for him, and he has the audacity to question my methods. How dare him? So I bring Gramble his Bugsnax and he and his squad roll back to town. Later on, we get the chance to meet Wiggle and try to convince her to come back to town, but she won't go back to town unless, get this, we give her some Bugsnax. Are you starting to see the pattern here? Because I hope you do, because it just gets repetitive from here on out the story, so I'm just speedrun it. Wiggle wanted a new hairdo, boom, I gave her a pineapple head. Wiggle wanted some grape mosquito type thing, boom, her hand is now a grape. She also wanted some pop ticks, which is a tick, that's also popcorn, boom, her arms are now popcorn. All this so she got some inspiration for her song, and she comes up with absolutely nothing. But she goes back to town, so it's not a complete waste of our time. So going back to town along with Wiggle, we interview Wambus and Gramble to find out where Lisbeth is, but they're both useless, so we went to go bring Bethica back to town. But before that, I had to scan some Bugsnax and guess what her favorite Bugsnax is, and also feed it to her. And it doesn't take the world's greatest detective, Batman, to figure out that she likes wiener. So after she confirms that she is in fact the Glizzy Gobbler, Bethica wants us to sneak up on our man's Wambus to find out what he does at night. And let me tell you, it ain't pretty.
Yeah, farming didn't go so well today. Soil's depleted, but I won't give up yet. I wonder how your day is going. Oh, Triffy, I miss you so much. I would hug your cactus facsimile, but it would only hurt me further.
So we tell Bethica and she goes back to Saxburg. So now, with a few people back in town, Philbo decides to throw this party, right? You think it will be popping? No, it's not popping. It sucks. But without the party being thrown, Wambus would have dug up this new part of the map, which we needed to go to, which is a win for me. And also, Philbo tried to feed me Bugsnax, which almost killed me, but we're gonna get past that. So now we make our way to the Scorch Gorge, where we meet Cromdo, who desperately tries to get my attention, like a used car salesman who's not even close to a sales quota. And turns out he is a salesman trying to sell me a bridge. And plot twist, the bridge, it's not in its best condition. But anyways, I still give him his Bugsnax. I turn his feet into popsicles, and he gives me the bridge. And lets it be known that Cromdomar is not responsible for any loss or injury suffered as a result of the use of his products. Then goes back to town. So after we get scammed, we meet Triffany, the wife of Wambus, and let me remind you, Wambus has a life-size cactus figure of Triffany. So in order to bring back Triffany to town, we have to not only bring her Bugsnax, but figure out more of the lore of Snacktooth Island, which I do not care about, but we do what we have to do to get her back to town. So when Triffy got back to town, she eventually made up with Wambus, and Philbo decided to set up a campfire for everyone, which is pretty cute, I guess. So during this campfire, the usual campfire things start happening, scary stories are told, then spooky things start happening, and scary noises are heard. But it turns out just, swole boy Chandlo just getting some things, and he usually got those things, he was out. Then the next day, a new area of the map was open called Sugar Pine Woods, and that's where we formally get to meet Chandlo and Snorpy. I'm pretty sure you already guessed that we're going to try to get Snorpy and Chandlo back to Snacksburg, but you already guessed that we can't do that unless we give him Bugsnax. So Snorpy gives me a gadget, so I get Chandlo's basketballs and feed him Bugsnax. Then Snorpy gives me another gadget, and also give him Bugsnax. Then they go back to town. So when Chandlo and Snorpy go back to town, we ourselves go back to town, and when we go back to town, there's some suspicious activity going on. So we investigate, because we're the only ones that has the balls to, and also the game forces us to do it by ourselves, but besides that, we manage to figure out what's going on, and then there's a beast running around town. And that evidence alone brings the group to the conclusion that they should split up, which you should not do under any circumstances where there's a beast running around town, because you just get picked off that way. But anyways, by the graces of all things holy, Filbo, of all people, manages to bring the whole group back together again. So the next day, we make our way to the Frosted Peak because we got a tip from Snow Redacted. Oh, right. Because we got a tip from an anonymous source that didn't want their name to be addressed during their interview, to where we could find Eggabell in the flesh, and I can tell you, she is not looking too hot, if I do say so myself. I mean, look at her foot. It's a scoop of ice cream, for crying out loud. So it turns out Eggabell and Lizbert got separated from one another, and Eggabell has been looking for Liz ever since. And Eggabell also wanted us to leave the island for our own sake, which is probably the greatest idea anyone has ever had to us. But nah. So we follow Eggabell to the edge of the mountain to find I don't even know what that's supposed to be. But the fact that we shown that we're not leaving to Eggabell, she gives in and allows us to help her. And we're gonna leave it there because after we get through the door, that's endgame. But I'm gonna just keep it short and simple for you guys. There's people missing from town, we bring them back to town. We go back to the door does not open. Eggabell sends us to figure out what's going on with the door, and we throw a party with Eggabell still on the mountain, and she's just suffering up there. And that's when everything goes all bad.
The earth is shaking, a volcano is erupting, and time is running out. We make our way to the mysterious door to finally get it open, and we make our way to Yonder Snacks.
I am so sorry, I just had to do it, I'm sorry. So Eggabell, Filbo, and I all get separated, but finding Filbo was super easy, barely an inconvenience. And we make our way through these tunnels of food and step in these puddles of I can't even tell you what it is. And we just make our way to Lizbert, this giant, humunculus thing of Bugsnax. And she gives us this whole rundown of how she got trapped in the Undersnacks, and Bugsnax just jumped all over her, and she became this monstrosity. I can't even give you a good description of what it is. So Eggabell comes out of nowhere and she just yeets herself into Lizbert, and now Lizbert and Eggabell are one, and I don't even know what's going on anymore. So with the joint forces of Eggabell and Lizbert, they help us out of the Undersnacks to help us escape the island because, you know, it's exploding. So we use the combined forces of all of our gadgets obtained throughout the game, and we make our escape. And so when we attempt to make our escape, there's this old pizza boy trying to end all of our careers. Then Eggabell and Lizbert come out of nowhere to end Pizza Boy's career. Then we all dip out of the island. And so when we make it back to safety, we take the story back to our boss. And our boss lets us know in the beginning of the game, as soon as we stepped out the door, we were fired. And so when we came back, we were fired. So we did all of that for nothing. So now, no one's going to hear about our story. And we are fired. And this was all for nothing. The end. Oh, and also, the boss knew about the Bugsnax is also working for the Illuminati, so, the end. Bye.